I have confirmation to start the game. Head-to-head here, Liquid Ret against Sen. I think Ret probably reflecting over that last game, saying, gosh, what did I do wrong there? What can I do better? And Sen thinking, if I can just play as well as I did in game number 1, by game number 2, it'll be 2-0, and I'll be moving on in this tournament. Introducing the players now in the upper right starting location. We have our red Zerg player. Make some noise for Liquid Ret. And not too far away on the map, Antigua Shipyard, we have our other very intimidating Zerg coming all the way from Taiwan. Give it up for Sen.
Well, Tasteless, you know, these two we keep on mentioning, they are two of the best macro Zergs we've had. They have been forever. But there are differences in them, and one of them, I think, is in the complete calm professionalism during a match. And that I have to give to Sen. During the time that we were talking before we started the game, Ret came right into the game ready to go, whereas Sen decided to jump out and watch the replay real quick. Even though he won, he wanted to look over Ret's play.
And we're about to see two Overlords kiss. Back into this game. I totally agree. Some players, you know, they get so angry when they lose, they don't even want to look at the loss, look at the mistake they made and analyze it, but it takes a really, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a matured pro gamer to sit down and watch himself lose and say, okay, what did I do wrong, and what do I need to do better?
That's right, Tasteless. Well, Sen this game going for a very quick spawning pool. As we said before, 10 pool is good against a hatchery first expansion.
Right.
But Ret has gone through the same build as last game, which is very good against a 10 pool. So it looks like this time Ret going to have just a small edge with his opening.
Yeah, so I agree completely, Artosis. We now have both the Overlords entering into the other mains, and this is a moment where StarCraft 2, for a very small period of time, can feel like StarCraft 1. You know, the fundamental problem at StarCraft 1, and one of the reasons why it was the most limited matchup, is that Zerglings were so strong that it was hard to get any other unit. For instance, a Hydralisk to drive out an Overlord. So the start of every Zerg versus Zerg resulted in an Overlord always getting into the other guy's base. If he makes a Hydralisk den, I just make Zerglings and run him over. And in this case, they are going to get there in time to see each other without having to use a scouting drone or a scouting Zergling. But of course, with the threat of the Queen coming out, they'll have to get out pretty soon.
Well, we do have these Zerglings starting their harassment. There are, ooh, look at that, getting that natural choke point right there, trying to really punish Ret's Zerglings, Sen does, but pulling back and back and back. He will not engage when it does not benefit him. That is one beautiful thing about Sen's play. Look at that, more Zerglings come up, chooses to engage, and Ret down to just 3 lings.
2 more lings popping out here. The Zerglings trying to separate from each other. Sen trying to get out of here. All these Zerglings pretty badly injured. And this is basically going to be the end of the rush. Oh, we just caught the tail end of that, but it looks like we had Sen's Queen shoot down one of Ret's Overlords. So as you can see in the upper center part of our screen, Ret is now supply blocked.
That is right, and that never, ever, ever feels good as a Zerg player, especially in ZVZ. In fact, Ret's Overlord's still not done, so Sen is already 5 supply up, and that's 25% of his supply right there.
Yeah. Note over here, the sneaky Overlord placed just off to see what Ret's doing. He knows about the hatchery, and this is not good for, this is not a good position for the expanding Zerg Ret. You know, when your hand has been tipped, it's pretty tough to outdo your opponent, especially when you're against somebody who's the level of Sen.
Ooh, this is actually really interesting, Tasteless. Sen right now is making nothing but Zerglings. He's blocking that ramp so he can't be scouted, getting his speed upgrade, and just pumping out Zerglings. It looks like he wants to overrun Ret right away, and Ret has not gotten a Baneling Nest, has not gotten a Roach Horn, he has no Spine Crawlers, so there may be a timing in here for Sen to do a ton of damage.
All right, Sen now coming out. Zergling speed is very close for completing here for Ret. Not too far away here for Sen as they move forward. Now here's the big question. Will he cancel? Will he cancel that hatchery?
I don't think so.
If it finishes, the pressure can build up pretty quickly, and he's going to have some solid defense.
Well, he is making a lot of Zerglings now as well. That speed just a little bit slower for Sen, and that's really hurting him on this. And in fact, Ret coming out, and Sen's Zerglings may get trapped here. He has to fight. Beautiful move by Ret.
And that is going to be an easy victory here for Ret.
Wow,
as I think Sen realizing, oh my God, actually, he responded much quicker than I thought.
That was beautifully done, and in fact, he's sending a lot of Zerglings across the map, Tasteless. I'm actually really scared for Sen now, as Ret does have a Baneling Nest. He has a lot more Zerglings and a lot more supply.
This is going to be a nice timing attack. The Queen's blocking the ramp, but now they can go for the hatchery. Queen's moving back, but every time that he baits them out, the red Zerglings of Liquid Ret come down to try to attack again. And this is going to be very, very difficult. There are so many Zerglings coming here from Ret, and the hatchery's getting lower, 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 lower. Will he cancel it? He does, and the drone goes down. Tough decision to make there.
Ret doing a great job right now, Tasteless, but we haven't seen any Banelings from either player. We just have a ton of Zerglings out here on the map, and in fact, Ret trying to run up right now, doing a great job.
Yeah, that's too many Zerglings here from Ret as he spills in there. Both Queens go die. This Zerg base is no longer a monarchy, and now these drones are going to go ahead and be taken out, and it looks like we are going to be going to the rubber match.
I think so, Tasteless. Still trying to stop this is Sen. He has that Baneling, but it goes off on just one Zergling. That is never what you want to see, and it looks like the supply difference is just becoming too much. With a GG,
yeah, GG.
Ret ties it up against Sen. Absolutely beautiful play by Ret there. He got those Zerglings out just in time to stop the mass Zergling attack of Sen, and his speed finished first, so he just went out and abused the fact that Sen had a slower gas.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because, you know, a few moments before I was saying, oh gosh, you know, the hatchery's going to get done and there's going to be a lot of Zerglings out on the map. But the truth is that Sen basically overextended himself. He was way out in the open and he had no way to retreat because his Zergling speed was maybe like 4 or 5 seconds away from finishing. And, you know, that's Starcraft too. Sometimes that small amount of time can make a huge difference. So for Ret right now, he's got to be feeling great. And I have to say, Artosis, both these players are playing really, really well. That was definitely a much better game from Ret than we saw in game number one. Game number one, it just seemed like Ret was perhaps a little bit distracted, maybe lost one too many Overlords. Not going to be the case here in game number two. So we're going to get this going right now. Are we ready?
Just one moment, asking to make sure they're ready, Tasteless.
Got to make sure they're ready. Are you guys ready? You guys having fun?